Hello and welcome to, I think it is episode 10 of Creative Anarchy. My name is Hannah and I am the hand dyer behind Creative Anarchy. Yes, that's me. So we like to chat about knitting and spinning and yarn dyeing around here basically. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's start off with what I'm wearing. So I haven't put anything fancy on today. This is my Doppio by, I can't remember who's designed the Doppio. And this was a project that I kind of did together with Robin of the Crafty Bird and Jess over at Pigment and Ply. We decided that we wanted matching jumpers for Yarndale. So we all did a little swap. So we all had yarn from each other and mix them all together because you need 3 strands when you knit this. So I've got the fluff is from me, and then the kind of orange colour is from Robin or the Crafty Bird, and then the variegated is by Jess over at Pigment and Ply. And it's ended up with this really lovely rusty mild effect, and it's like my go-to everyday jumper basically, because it's really comfortable. It's nice and warm. A bit too warm actually for the shed at the moment, because after a couple of days of dyeing and having my heated air on in here, it's a bit toasty, but I'm sticking through it for now at least. We'll see how long that lasts. But yeah, that is what I am wearing. So since last time I saw you, which was 2 weeks ago now, this probably won't come out today, but 2 weeks ago since I filmed this, I haven't finished anything, but I have been working away hard on my mainly my book club cardigan. But I'm going to show you my Lento first. So I basically made no progress on this, so don't expect any miracles. But yes, this is my Lento. And I am knitting mine using Pigment and Ply, her SW Merino Boucle DK. It's really squishy and the colour is just incredible. But I have split for the sleeves, yay! Which makes it a bit easier to show you what it looks like, which is nice. And yeah, I've knit maybe like not even an inch after the sleeve split, so that's basically how much I've knit since I saw you last. But it will get a little bit more love soon once I finish my book club, because I am stubborn and I will finish my book club before Unravel, which is in about 3 weeks. So I better get a move on. But I've made a lot of progress on it since I last saw you. So here we go. It lives in my Pigment and Ply mushroom bag. Beautiful. Got some chanterelles there. Fly agaric. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. But yes, it's really cute. And it's taking up quite a lot of space now because it's quite big. So since I saw you last, I have actually achieved a fair amount, as in quite a lot, I would say. I have finished the body. Ta-da! Yeah, so I finished the body. I think I was, I don't know, maybe somewhere around here when I last saw you, so I was fairly close to finishing it. But the big thing really, I mean, I'm pretty proud of that. I mean, part of it is because I knit like, oh yeah, this is how much I knit when I was at Waltham Abbey Wool Show at the weekend. So I knit that entire last bit of the sleeve, so it was a good excuse to just knit and knit and knit. And I know some people, well, I had a few people comment on me knitting cables while standing up and chatting to people. But I would like to point out that when you are a yarn dyer and you regularly vend at shows, you want something to do with your hands, and you very quickly get used to knitting everything while talking to people. So really by the time I was at the end of the sleeve, I knew exactly what I was doing with the cables, so it's not like I needed to refer to anything. But yeah, talking about, you know what I needed to do, I messed up here, but that was just, I was silly, and then I couldn't be bothered ripping back to fix it, but I don't think it's overly visible, so it'll be fine. But yes, I have also started on sleeve number 2. I literally started that last night, so there's still quite a lot to go. But I should, I mean, considering how much I've achieved in the last 2 weeks, I think I'll be fine for unravel if I've got 3 weeks. I just need to get a move on with that last sleeve, because then obviously I need to do the button band as well. But I'm really excited to get this finished. I've got some really, really lovely buttons lined up for it. That's been kind of keeping me motivated. That's from Ethel and Joan. She very kindly gifted me some buttons. And it would be nice to get it done for Unravel, because I'm pretty sure she's vending at the show as well, so it'd be nice to be able to show them off for people as well and send them her way if they want some nice buttons. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. I think it looks amazing. And this is, before I forget, this is knit with in the colour Akvavit. That was from my midsummer collection, and I've used the base Night Sky and Cash Fluff. So it's really nice and soft and squishy, but it's got that light sparkle to it, which a few people commented on at the weekend as well, that they saw that and they thought that was really fun. So yeah, almost, I'm getting there, after many months of knitting on it, but I can see the light at the end of the tunnel and I am excited. And I may be using different dye lots and may not be alternating properly, so do as I say, don't do as I do. But it's not overly obvious, I don't think, so it should be fine. But yes, that is what I am knitting on at the moment. So last time I spoke to you, I had just ordered an Argonaut by Jonna Makes, which is a spinning wheel, a 3D printed spinning wheel, and I think she released them in the summer or something, so she did us monthly pre-orders on the 1st of every month, and I'd pre-ordered mine, and it wasn't due until the end of the month, but it did arrive on Saturday, before I had to set off to set up for Waltham Abbey. And it took all of my self-control not to just cancel everything. But this is what it looks like, and I'm so happy with it so far. I've only spent I've kind of done a bit of a trial spin with it, but I'm really happy with it. It's really silent, it's really pretty, and it feels really high quality. And really well thought through, and it feels like the perfect step up from the Nano that I used to have, and it's a really pretty colour. So yes, I've got a braid set aside that I'm going to start spinning soon, but I've been busy knitting on my book club, so I haven't done it yet, but I love it. So I think I was a bit cautious or concerned, because when you see people only say the good things about a small business, sometimes I'm wondering if they're doing it because they like the person or because the product is good. And I think in this instance it's both. Gemma's been really lovely and really helpful if I had any questions or anything. But also she's created a genuinely good product, and really nice, high quality and well made and well thought through, and it just works. And I'm really happy with it. And the only bad thing I have to say about this is that my partner saw it, and now once again he wants a 3D printer. Which he does not need, but he wants. But yeah, really, really nice. So if you're thinking about buying one, I can definitely recommend it. And it was, with shipping, it was £255, and that includes 3 bobbins, which I think for the quality is just incredible. And I think yeah, it was a great upgrade from the Nano. The Nano was great, but it's very little, and with this one I can print. I can spin some seriously sized bobbins, which is really exciting. And there we go, my first little tiny skein that I spun on it, and I'm really happy with it. So this is what it looks like. Hopefully that is in focus. So this is, I dyed up some 100% superwash merino that I had left over. This is how much wool I had, so I dyed that up, and I dyed it up in my Beware of Crimson Peak colour. And I did a fractal spin, and I tried to achieve like a fingering weight, because so far I've only done heavier yarns, and I think I successfully achieved it. So I'm really pleased with this, and my next spin is actually going to be, I've got 150 grams of Kent Romney that I dyed up in Beware of Crimson Peak at the same time. So that's going to be like my first big spin on it, so to say. And I'm really excited about that. That might be a weekend project for me to get that started. But I've got the braid sitting next to me in the sofa. And yeah, it's looking really, really nice. I'm quite excited. Yeah, so that's basically, that's what I've been spinning on. But yeah, I'm excited to kind of play around with it a bit more, and as I get more confident and more comfortable with spinning as well, hopefully I can actually knit something with my spins. I mean, I should probably make something with this, but I'm not 100% sure what at the moment. And since I'm here and I've got these next to me, let me show you the kind of first skein, second skein, third skein, so you can kind of see that there's been quite a significant improvement there. That's what I think, at least. Yeah, this one's a lot more, yeah, it just looks a bit more professional, I think. I'm really proud of it. I'm proud of these as well, but especially this one. Yes. Happy. Alright, that's kind of it when it comes to my projects recently. I suppose this is the problem with me and being a fairly like monogamous project person, is that I actually don't, there's not a lot of things to show you, or new castles and exciting things like that, because I actually just kind of focus on one thing at a time, but otherwise I just get too stressed. But I just figured I'd move on to some Creative Anarchy news and a bit of what's been happening here. So it was Waltham Abbey Wool Show at the weekend, and it's such a great way to start off the year with just a one-day show. And it was really nice as well, because a lot of my friends were vending, and we met up with Hannah and Lydia of Weku Yarn as well the night before and had dinner, because they're local as well. And yeah, it's just such a nice show, and semi-local, well, not too far to get to, and just a nice time, and people are kind of excited to get back out onto the shows after Christmas. So really, really nice time. So thank you for everyone who stopped by and did their shopping and chatting and all of that stuff. I had a lovely time, and yeah, hopefully I'll be back next year, we'll see. There was a break last year, so there wasn't one last year, but I was at the one before, which was also lovely, except that time I was working the day before, so I had to drive up the morning of and set up on my own in the morning. So I left home at like 6 AM or something, set up, show opened at 10 for, I was probably back home at like 7 or something, and it was a very long day and I was exhausted. So this was better when I could stay over. But yeah, it was really nice, and it's kind of nice that show season has started again. And I know that sounds weird considering I did the Christmas wool show right before December, but it feels like such a long time ago already, because Christmas just takes up so much time and energy or whatever. So yeah, it's nice that it's kind of back in the swing of things. So bring on Unravel, which is, yeah, in 3 weeks. And I'm pretty much ready to go for that, which is a nice change. Having gone full time, all of a sudden I am not scrambling with finishing everything anymore, which is really nice. Yeah, exciting. So yeah, so it's Unravel, and then it's East Anglia Yarn Festival, and then it's Wonder Wool, and then I'm not sure if, well, I should, yeah. Oh, sorry, I wasn't sure if I'm allowed to announce, but I'm actually sending out Summer Wool Festival leaflets with my orders, so I think it's pretty obvious that I'm doing that in July. Otherwise, why would I send them out? Except it's a lovely show, of course, so that's a good reason. Yeah. And what else? So seasonal boxes are still available, so if you were thinking about ordering one, they're still available on the website. And also at the moment, I'm going to start digging for some wool here, because I've got a massive tub next to me. I might actually put them on my lap. Beautiful. So before Christmas in November, I did a pre-order called Postcards from Japan, and they're now available for pre-order again. So this is the second and final time they're up for pre-order, because I had a few people reach out and say that they didn't have the budget right before Christmas to treat themselves. So that's now up and available online. So basically this whole collection was inspired by Japan. I had a big holiday to Japan in the first 2 weeks of November, and leading up to that I created colourways inspired by my travels, basically, or the places where I was going. So I've got 8 colourways inspired by 4 different locations, and I actually brought the sock sets with me as well and took photos of them in location, which was a fun thing to do on holiday, and kind of felt like I was still working a little bit, so I wasn't too naughty taking 2 weeks in Japan. It was still very naughty, but yeah. So the first 2 are Daikoku Nights and Skyline. That's what they look like. So Daikoku Nights is a kind of dark purple and black with red speckles, and it's kind of got little blue pops as well, which you can't really see in the skein, but it does. And then this is Skyline, which is a really nice dark teal. I'm thinking about making a Sophie hood with this. I think that would be really, really nice. So that's also fueling my book club knitting, because I'm thinking if I do that, maybe I get to cast on something new. So these are the 2 Tokyo colourways. These 2 are very car themed, because my partner is absolutely obsessed with Japanese cars and Japanese car culture. So that was basically all he cared about during our visit. I have never been, it was like walking around with a toddler. He was just pointing at cars all the time. But this one is called Daikoku Nights, after it's literally a service station. It's a service station outside Tokyo that is well known for its car meets, basically. So every kind of Friday and Saturday night people bring their cars there and just hang out. We went there, it was a bank holiday, we were lucky, on our way to Hakone, which is the next colourway. We went there, ended up going there daytime on a bank holiday, and there were still lots of cars around, and I swear I haven't seen him so happy in my entire life. But yeah, so that's what this is inspired by. And then Skyline, because they're kind of belong to each other, Skyline is inspired by a photo of a Nissan Skyline, which is a cool 90s car, one of my partner's favourite cars, and he's complaining that it's not a Bayside blue. This is the wrong kind of blue, but I found a photo of it and it was in this colour, so it's just gonna have to suck it up. And next one, we have the two, missing one, there we go. We have the two Hakone inspired colours. So we've got Hot Springs and Hakone Sunset. So Hakone is about an hour's drive from Tokyo. And it's a town well known for its hot springs basically. So we stayed in a really nice hotel with hot springs and complimentary food and everything, and it was incredible. So these colours are kind of inspired by that, and the kind of like going to the hot springs at night when you've got the colours of the trees and everything, or maybe the sunset. Oh, it was just incredible. All I want in my life is to just have a hot spring in my garden, but alas I do not. So that's Hot Springs. So this one, it looks like it's similar to Daikoku Nights, but it's actually leaning way more green. So this one has a green base with pops of purple and blues, as opposed to the other one which is a base of purple. And so far this has probably been one of the most popular ones. And then we have Hakone Sunset, which is kind of inspired by those gorgeous sunsets over the surrounding lakes, which is just a really nice mauve basically. And then we have got the Kyoto colourways. So we've got Turning Leaves and Fushimi Inari. So if you haven't been to Kyoto, Fushimi Inari is basically a bunch of, you know, the red torii gates that are kind of around Buddhist temples. It's on, Fushimi Inari is on a hill, and it's a bunch of temples, and there's torii gates leading all the way around it. It's like an hour and a half hike to walk around it all. And when I first went to Japan, like 10 years ago, or more than 10 years ago, that was one of my favourite things to visit. We went in the day then, but it's very popular with tourists now, but I really wanted to go, so we were recommended to go at night. And it was incredible. It was an amazing experience. I had a raging cold, but I still stuck it out for an hour and a half walking up and down a mountain. But it was great. So this one, you can see it's it's red, it's a rusty red, but it's got pops of greens and purples in it as well. So this is the one, in the last episode I used this as the contrast colourway in my Autumn Alpine. Yeah, really nice. And then we have Turning Leaves, which I wanted to be that colour of when the leaves are just starting to go a bit yellow, but before they properly turn. Because we were going in November, which is kind of right as the seasons are beginning to turn and the leaves are beginning to turn, I wanted something inspired by those colours, and this is what all of Kyoto looked like basically. So yeah, those are the Kyoto colourways. And lastly, because we were renting a car, it meant that we could visit other places that we didn't have to rely on local traffic to go to. So we also, on our way back from Kyoto, we were kind of doing a bit of a loop around the mountains, which was an incredible experience. It was so beautiful. And if you're planning on going to Japan, I would really recommend renting a car, because it was such a great way of exploring different places that you might not be able to see otherwise. And one of those places that we went to was Kamikochi, which is a nature reserve up in the mountains, and you've got like mountain lakes just with forests and huge mountains, and it was just incredible. So what we had to do, we had to go to a car parking place, because there's a limited amount of cars that are allowed to go there. Car parking place where you can then take a bus that you pay for that takes you up there, and then you can go on walks and stuff around there. And it was incredible. So this is Kamikochi and Mountain Lakes. And once again, I wanted those little colours of the leaves turning and the slight oranges, because up there it was it was a little bit more autumnal, but then you've got the pops of light blue as well to kind of mimic the, kind of inspired by the lakes, and also a little bit of grey from the mountains. And then Mountain Lake, which is inspired by those kind of icy blue, bright, waters, basically. So that's it. That is the whole collection, and that is still available to pre-order, and that will remain available to pre-order until the 2nd, and that will ship by the end of February. And then after that we are moving on, and we are on to Advent full skein, basically. But yeah, this is what they look like, all of them. Yeah, and I think that's it for now. So I will probably see you again in about 2 weeks. For now, I am going to wrap up, and I am going to get ready to go and have coffee with my mum in a second, the stitcher maker. If you have seen the stitch markers at yarn shows, she makes those for me. And yeah, and then I'm going to spend the evening eating lots of cheese and knitting. Sounds ideal for a Friday night. I'm not editing this video, so we'll see when this goes live. Bye!